Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's KGibbsGP here, and welcome to highlights from Formula Xbox Season 6 in Abu Dhabi. It's my own personal highlights, and in fairness, it's the final race, the grand finale of what has been a pretty dire season. In all reality, we've had one good qualifying in Australia where we qualified P2. We had one good race in Belgium, that's the one, where we could actually see the race leaders with a few laps to go. But other than that, it's been rather uneventful. Well, no, uneventful is the wrong word. It's been rather dire. It's been eventful, but for all the wrong reasons, really. But in any case, we went into this final round optimistic of a good result. We're currently sitting P8 in the championship, but we've got Noor and Hickey just 3 points behind us, and they could both jump us in the championship hunt for P8, of course. P5 for Noor on the grid. I'm down in P13, so it's hardly the best start. Hickey's only behind us because he had a no quali penalty, so albeit my qualifying performance this season hasn't been the best in almost any race across the course of the season, here it's particularly dire. But we remain optimistic. Anything can happen in the race, particularly when tyre deg is pretty significant as it is here. And of course, qualifying outside of the top 10 allows us to get a little bit creative on strategy. So we opt for a super soft, super soft, which is what I've done in practice. And as you can see, we have 5 red lights on the screen now. Lights out and away we go, or away Sam doesn't go, as I'm pretty sure I said just a few weeks ago. He's had another lag start, unfortunately for him, but as we pile towards turn 1 now, it's getting very claustrophobic up ahead. Prototype Budgie, Drastic Midget and Casey Legend all take to the runoff area. I'm collected as the collateral damage there, and I'm trying to avoid Hickey, who's had a bit of a moment there as well. He's out of this race after having his own dramas on the exit of turn 1. Prototype Budgie exit stage right there. He's in the wall, and as you can see up ahead, we've got a fantastically bizarre sight as Sam is missing a right front wheel on my screen. It's bouncing around on the wheel tether. He's dragging his Ferrari along the ground, as you can see. He's not feeling any of this, so it's hilarious for us behind. It's hugely distracting, to be fair, for us behind, but he's carrying on regardless, as I'm now having a drag race towards turn 7 with Drastic Midget, who's going to come out on top here. Midget is just edging ahead of me at the moment, and of course he has the inside line for the apex of the corner. I'm going to try and hang out around the outside. Gives me the inside for the second part of that chicane, so I gobble up P15, and yeah, so we've lost a couple of spots off the grid, but hardly unsurprising given that we were a country mile off the circuit in the runoff area of turn 1, and we got the inside of Elusive Kev there, but far too late, far too ambitious on the brakes, and we lose that position. Drastic Midget goes through as well, but he goes wide. Chance up the inside now. I dive to the inside, run him out of road on the exit, uncompromising, but that is at least P15 retains. So I've atoned for my earlier error, and as you can see a little bit later on lap 2, Kev gets it all crossed up there as he just tags the curb on the exit of turn 8, and now we're in the slipstream in Kev's toe, and we pull out now to the outside line. We're going to have the outside for the chicane, not optimal, but he goes far too late on the brakes, goes sailing off into the runoff area, and we take that P14. So progress, we're at least getting closer towards the points, and obviously starting on the super soft tyre, that is going to give us the advantage of being able to go a lot longer in this stint. But as you can see up ahead, we've got a Renault. It's Noor the Dragon in P12. We're going to go sailing past Noor now as he slams into the curb, and well, we were going to go past him until I clattered into the back of him there, damaging my front wing in the process. Drastic Midget comes by as well, so we've lost out of position. We've lost a bit of our front wing, and Noor is still ahead of us. No lags behind us. We passed Maestro there for P12, and with Noor in drama and retired from this race, that's P8 sealed for us. So we finish P8 in the championship, barring taking somebody out and getting a horrendously heavy penalty points-wise. We are going to finish 8th. And as you can see, more drama in this race as we've got a safety car, and now it's fill your boots time as far as I'm concerned. Let's just try and put as many points on the board as we can as we dive into the pit lane now. This does of course give us a chance to replace our damaged front wing, and at this point I really wasn't sure what tyre to go on to. Obviously this has thrown the strategy right out of the window, but we're going to still go to the soft tyres and hopefully make these softs go as long as possible. Initially we were going to be boxing again on lap 20. With this safety car out, maybe we can get to that lap 20 mark without stopping, with stopping a lot earlier, I should say. So soft tyres it is. You can see the guys around me are on the super softs, So this is going to get particularly tasty on the restart. And cutting to the restart now on lap 6. Sam's cleared off there up the road. I'm still getting the grips with my soft tyres. Got to try and get him in the operating window. And I've got to grips very, very poorly there. As you can see, I've lost it. Dropped it coming out of the last corner on traction. And the recording just glitched there as I was recovering. But as you can see, recovered in last of all. So P17 of 17, P16 as Maestro emerges from the pit lane. But obviously with this tremendous, significant front wing damage, Maestro goes sailing past us there. I wasn't going to hold him up at all because the resistance is futile on this one with an orange right front and a nearly orange left front wing. No cigar there. And there's going to be no point fighting Maestro, but as you can see, he actually had a bit of a moment on the exit of the chicane at turns 4 and 5, and we retook the position. But then just a few corners later, Maestro was right on the back of us again, and of course cruised around the outside of us heading into turn 5. And again, we're not going to fight him on that one. Not much point at all, really, and takes that position, but nearly gets it all crossed up on the exit again. Maestro seemed to be struggling in this race on traction. If you're watching, Maestro, if you could put in the comment section what was actually going on, I'd be gratefully appreciative of that knowledge, because as you can see here, he drops it again coming out of the chicane, and fortunately ghosts. I thought I was going to go clattering into the front of him there, but he does actually ghost, and we're up into P12 with Prototype Budgie, my teammate for Season 7, up ahead of me. So, can we close him down? Well, you'll have to stay tuned and find out, folks, because we've got a safety car now. So that is exactly why I'll be able to close him down. And this one plays into my hands once again, really, because that front wing damage that we sustained just a few laps ago on the first restart is now going to be repairable. So I can dive into the pit lane. We can change strategy once again. But I've basically shot myself in the foot, because while I'm busy fiddling around with the HUD and changing my strategy, I've exceeded the delta on the safety car by about 3 seconds. So an absolute mare from me there. That sums up my season, really. Not even with any pace. And when he does have a hint of an opportunity, goes and absolutely blows it. So I'm as bad as Ferrari's strategist from 2016. And I've had an absolute shocker there. But as you can see, as I box, and the Red Bull mechanics probably want to get me out of the car right now, and put in Sinan, who will be driving the Red Bull next season in the car, because he's clearly got a lot more talent and observational skills than I have. I emerge from the pit lane at least on a set of super soft tyres now in P14. So it's lap 11. I'm down to what is nearly last place once again. And as you can see, we're winding up now for the restart by lap 13. Just looking to preserve tyres and fuel and get towards the restart. But as you can see, these guys seem to be bolting ahead. So I go cruising up to the back of him. RBZ brake checks Drastic Midget. And then I head straight into the back of the Mercedes, damaging my front wing yet again. So we're now on to what would be front wing number 3 when we eventually box. And at this point, I'm trying to take my drive-through penalty for, of course, exceeding the safety car delta. But with that front wing damage, look who's awaiting me in the pit lane. My brilliant 22 Red Bull mechanics awaiting me for a pit stop I did not want to take. So we take the soft tyres anyway. Again, not really the tyre I wanted. And not what I wanted to do, because I've just basically thrown away a set of new super soft tyres, which were going to be good for at least 10 laps, and instead put on a new set of softs. So as you can see, we emerge from the pit lane after our drive-through penalty a lap later in P14, last of the runners, and as you can see on the map, an absolute country mile behind the pack. We've got Monster just ahead of us, who's emerged on super soft tyres. He's obviously had some sort of dramas of his own, and yeah, so it's going to be me and Monster duking it out over what is P9, or what becomes P9 at least by lap 22. Nothing really happened, bar people making stops through ultra soft tyres. Vapid behind us, as you can see on the HUD, and Prototype Budgie being a couple, to name a couple. And yeah, so as we box now with a few laps to go, we couldn't make the soft tyres go towards the end of the race, and I was out the points anyway. So I thought, let's have a bit of fun. Let's stick on the ultra soft tyre and see if we can go and take fastest lap. Because on Formula Xbox's website, there is a little grid which has people that have scored first places, second places, third places, pole positions, fastest laps, and I'm not on any of those statistics so far this season. I've not done anything according to that graphic, and so I wanted to put that right. So lap 24 of 28, Abu Dhabi, P12, come across the line with a 1 minute 41.358, and that stood as the fastest lap of the race. So I do, in the last race of the season, finally put my name on that board of absolute heroes and champions. And as you can see, Prototype Budgie, who had plenty of fuel and plenty of tyres left. I do manage to close him down. My Season 7 teammate, of course, and good friend Scott. We close him down towards the end of this race. Can we make a move with a lap to go? He's in P10, so this is all important for a point as I look to cement my position in P8, which is already guaranteed anyway. We go to the inside at the final corner and make a decisive move on Prototype Budgie there. Probably the first decisive move I've made all season, and it is at least guaranteed now a point for us in this final race, and of course a point for fastest lap as well, but I didn't know if that would stand at this point, which of course it did eventually. We exceed track limits there, but do we care? Not really, because we've already got 6 seconds worth of time penalties for that, and it's all irrelevant at this point. However, as you can see up ahead, there's more drama to unfold on this final lap, as Vapid, who did, I noticed, make a very early stop for Ultrasofts. He pitted with 8 laps to go and put those on. He has a puncture on the final lap of the race. A disaster for Vapid, but it does at least gift us an extra point for P9. However, Prototype Budgie was behind me. He hasn't scored many points all year. He's in a battle of his own in the championship to try and salvage some positions in his final standing. And who am I to steal that from him? So I do allow him to pass for an extra point. And eventually that did become P7 for Prototype Budgie and P8 for me, as numerous drivers ahead got disqualified for causing safety cars in what was Formula Xbox's very own Crashgate scenario. So that was the final round of Formula Xbox Season 6. We eventually, although came P12 on the graphic, no idea how that happened. I did lag out halfway through, hence became Daniel Ricciardo instead of my career mode driver. You may have noticed that. And I wonder if that's what made the timing screens a little bit off. But apparently we finished 1 minute and 54 off the lead, when in reality we actually finished in P10 on the road, or P9 on the road in fact. But I hope you've enjoyed that, folks, and I hope you've enjoyed this season as a whole. I'd like to take the opportunity and the stage that I've got here to thank everybody who's raced in Formula Xbox this season. You're all fantastic, guys, and yeah, look forward to Season 7. Those who are not participating in Season 7, I hope you have a good league racing career to follow, whichever leagues you're going to be in. And for those that are racing, I look forward to the competition once again. But thank you very much for watching, folks. It's been a pleasure commentating on all of these this season, and a pleasure commentating for the official highlights as well. We've got a couple more of those to go up over the next couple of weeks as well. So yeah, this has been Formula Xbox Season 6. That was the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And until next time, folks, I shall see you very soon. Goodbye.